The court reporter, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Your hearing has adjourned to March 8th by stipulation. If you have any questions, you can contact your public defender. No hearing for you.
You're breaking up. I can barely hear you.
There's no hearing today. Your hearing has adjourned to March 8th.
So there's no court today, it's tomorrow.
No, sir. March 8th.
March 8th. Dude, I've been getting adjourned for 6 months. This is a joke. Whatever.
What's up, court nerds? Time to get served with your boy Phil. It's the race to 1K subscribers in 10 days. Thank you, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's growing. I'm getting thousands of hits a day. The comments have been a ride. And today, I got clips you haven't seen anywhere. I promise. We got it from Texas, Wyandotte, Simpson. I don't even know where, but they are juicy, I promise. So without further ado, let's roll, nerds. Okay, guys, first up, this is Judge Anna Anzalone, and I call this the case of the speed talker. It's a quick one, and Judge Anzalone just can't understand a word he's saying, so let's roll.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Lentz, do you understand that you do have a right to have a court-appointed attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings because you're an MBOC inmate? You are indigent and entitled to court-appointed counsel. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you wish to proceed without counsel, or would you like counsel appointed to represent you?
Well, the main issue is that I'm being, I'm trying to present my issues. I guess the court didn't get my motions. I got certified mail with them, so I mean, the court's not even.
Sir, I can't hear a word you're saying, so you need to slow down. You're talking really fast, and I need you just to answer the question I asked you. Do you want counsel appointed to represent you? Yes or no?
I mean, it's not that easy, but yes, in general terms, yeah. Well, like I was saying is that, I mean, I'm not having any fair due process regarding like the filing of my motions.
Okay, I'm not asking you that question, so I'm not gonna, what my question is, do you want a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, because the circumstance is out of my control, yes, yeah.
Okay, so you would like to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Lentz. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And what I will do is set this over for 2 weeks to have that attorney have an opportunity to speak with you. Did you previously have court-appointed attorney, or have you declined it up to this point?
They were ineffective, where they weren't doing anything really at all for me.
Okay, well, it's going to be the same office, so you know, and I found
Is
that.
they have a attorney from that office?
I can't hear you.
Is there a way to have a different assigned attorney from that office?
No, I have no authority or control over the public defender's office.
Okay, other than that, I was trying to talk to the prosecutor about a disposition. I don't know if,
Well, okay, so, sir, you're asking for court-appointed counsel, and I'm going to then appoint court-appointed counsel, correct?
yes, ma'am, yeah.
Okay, so today is your arraignment. Do you want me to adjourn your arraignment 2 weeks to have counsel present with you? Or do you want me to arraign you and then appoint counsel?
Just adjourn it,
Hey Jeff, check me on Gary logged in on Zoom.
Mr.
What's
Bennett,
that?
you are not muted.
Gary logged in on Zoom.
Man, it's confused.
Okay, so
You
you
know I
like
love
me
that.
to adjourn the arraignment?
yes, ma'am, yeah.
Okay, so Ms. Adams, I am going to set this over to February 22nd. That's 2 weeks from now, sir. And that'll give us enough time to, one, writ you in from MDOC via Zoom, and two, get court-appointed counsel to represent you. So I'm going to adjourn the arraignment to February 22nd, and I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. So, Mr. Lentz, we will see you back here on February 22nd at 8:15 in the morning, all right?
Yes, you're right, yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Lentz. We'll see you back on that day.
In a fraudulent
All right.
county.
All right. Now we got what we got now is this is pretty much the nicest inmate I've ever seen. The nicest bond hearing I've ever heard.
Thank you. Ricardo Guerrero.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guerrero, you are charged with an out-of-county felony out of Williamson County. This is for a charge of fraud, specifically relating to allegedly trying to obtain a prescription drug in a fraudulent manner. I don't want you to comment about that, but that's the allegation. Now, a couple of questions for you. Have you been arrested? Have you ever been arrested before?
Once before, about a year ago. I'm still going to court over that. That's actually how you guys got me. Like, came to court.
What's the charge for that?
Just discharging a firearm inside the municipality, which was actually not.
Is that in Travis County or in Williamson County?
Travis County.
He said that so nonchalantly, discharging a weapon in a municipality.
Travis County.
All right. Well, this is a Williamson County case here.
Correct.
This particular charge that I'm talking about. How did you get out of jail on the Travis County case?
PR law.
And you've been going to court on all your cases?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm an upstanding citizen, sir. This is just a miscommunication.
Citizen.
All right. Well, the reason I'm asking is because I'm going to go ahead and have pretrial services come talk to you. Normally we don't do personal bonds on other counties, but
That's what I figured.
under the circumstances, based upon your limited criminal record and the nature of the charges, I'm going to go ahead and direct them to come interview you, and I'm going to do a personal bond. But you
Thank
need
you.
to show up for your court dates in Williamson County.
Absolutely.
I don't know when your court date is going to be in Williamson County because it's not us. It's that
Right.
it's a different county. So when you get out of jail, when you get out of jail, it's not going to say on the paperwork when your court date is. It is your responsibility over the next week to call Williamson County and find out when you need to show up.
Too easy. Too easy.
You want a court-appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own?
Court appointed. I'm unemployed. I'm disabled.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck.
They'll come see me pretty soon, right?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. No, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Have a good day.
You too.
Yes, sir. So our next,
Come on, that was great. That was absolutely fantastic. All right, this next one is out of Texas. Judge John Stevens, when he drops the law, oh boy, he had it. He had it with some guy that he literally tells him, your time's up. He's been carrying on with probation and putting off hearings and everything since like 2019. And now Judge Stevens just had enough.
You're 4441, the state of Texas versus Kagan Dixon. That's you? Is Mr. Burbank your attorney?
Yes, sir, yeah.
He is?
Yes, sir.
You think he is? He says he's not.
When did you come in to hire me?
Y'all work that out. I want to see how this plays out because I'm here for a hearing. And nobody's told me that we shouldn't have a hearing. But it's been represented to me that he's been your attorney. He says he hadn't been hired.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I thought you sticking like my attorney on this previous motion to revoke.
This is a motion to revoke hearing. You're 1 foot away from going to prison here because we've got a motion to revoke probation that was filed back in 2019 at first. Then it was amended in 2022 in February, and then it was second amended. And buddy, your clock is up. It's time right now. This is a hearing. I expected a hearing. And we're going to have one way or the other here. But he says he wasn't hired, but that's y'all's problem. I set this thing and I expect to have a hearing. I ordered a hearing. So, y'all ready?
Y'all ready?
I'm not.
Well, yeah, we're going to have a hearing one way or the other on something. And this is like the tail wagging the dog. I'm supposed to be dictating the moving of cases. And now all of a sudden y'all can't get your act together, but that's not my problem. He's either your lawyer or not. And we're moving forward today, or else there's going to be some additional orders where you're going to be revoked, stuck in jail. Your bond is revoked because you can't get your act together and you can't move forward in getting representation like you were supposed to. You're employed? I'm asking you a question. Well, he says he's not hired to represent you, and he files a motion yesterday, which is a little late because we've had this notice of hearing for a long time. I don't understand why that was done so late. That's not right. But you're going to go to jail until we have this hearing because we've said this has been languishing since 2019. Your clock is up. And we got this allegation of a new case, and we got people here evading arrest out of Harris County, and we've got people here for a hearing. The state is here for a hearing because they were led to believe by this court in good faith that we were having a hearing. Nobody let me know. I don't like that personally. I don't like it. It's not professional. So what do y'all have to say? There's not a hearing today? Go ahead.
Let me talk to the state judge for a minute.
All right.
Because
also,
my
we've got
understanding it wasn't-
a Cody Arnold too, right?
Yeah, we're ready on that, Judge.
All right.
If that's what you
Get
want to do.
Mr. Dixon, you sit right over there. You're in timeout, right over there.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Put him in timeout.
Your bond has been revoked. Your bond is
He put him in timeout, folks. Nerds, he put him in timeout.
been revoked right now because of this issue. Y'all are going to have to work this out between you two.
Paris, because he got,
So what do you have? What's that report?
they put him on pretrial diversion, we completed it.
Surgery.
The lawyer's doing the right thing and
He
stepping
got a
up.
little slap on the wrist over there. But he had.
You usually just say hell no.
To get it.
For pretrial diversion.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Pretrial diversion, there's no court. Pretrial-
So if he wants to file.
This is third-degree felony.
There, the second officer in the
Yeah, well,
law,
like
the one that
we got
was
third degree. Let me see the pre-sentence report,
What you
please.
said was the court did it in court. Has nothing to do with pretrial diversion.
The court over there did.
Because you're not two pretrial diversion.
It's signed fire.
Let me see the pre-sentence report.
Oh, Mr. Dixon?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Agree with that. Over there. Whatever. Pretrial diversion.
Sorry, Judge.
Thank you.
Well, I've already got the good show where the court did it, so it's whatever he does.
Can you put the
What are they gonna do? What are they going to do? Okay. Sorry, guys. Skip ahead a little bit. Okay, now he brings Mr. Dixon back.
We now call 16-24441, the state of Texas versus Kagan Dixon. You are Mr. Dixon, present, with your attorney, Mr. Burbank, and the state's attorney. There is a second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation that was filed on June 6th of last year. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this, and can we proceed in summary? And it looks like we have handled hearings as late as recently as March 9th of 22, where the defendant pleaded true to allegations 4 and 5 of the First Amendment. The only thing that has been added since that hearing and the court's decisions made in that hearing, thereafter, it is alleged in this second amended one violation that the defendant committed the offense of evading arrest or detention on or about May 8th, 2022 in Harris County, Texas. And so we'll deal with that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, does he waive a formal reading of this second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation? Can we proceed in summary?
He does.
In summary, Mr. Dixon, this second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation alleges that on September 19th, 2016, you were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for family assault by choking. Is that true? It's a third-degree felony. Allegation number 6 in the second amended portion of this motion to revoke probation states that it is alleged you committed the offense of evading arrest or detention on or about May 8th, 2022 in Harris County, Texas. Is that true or untrue?
Yes, sir, that's true.
Are you pleading true to that voluntarily and because it is true as it is alleged?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand by pleading true, that is enough? A voluntary and knowing plea of true is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation. Your probation can now be revoked. You can be found guilty now for this third-degree felony that you are on probation for. And you can be sentenced to the full range of punishment, which is no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, I do.
I find you were pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true.
Yes, sir.
There is no agreement here.
There's no agreement, Judge, but I would ask for some time, especially in light of, there was a question of whether or not I represented him or not. I do represent him. I'm going to represent him based on totality. He has been working. There are mitigating things and also support that I need to get together that I have not had time to present to the court. He has a job. He has family over there he supports, so he's not going anywhere. And I would just ask for some time, a week or two, a couple of weeks, so I can get my witnesses.
Okay. Does the state want to present any evidence today in support of this? He's pleaded true, but I don't know anything about the underlying nature of it.
There's an offense report, Judge.
I can either
What do you want?
I can either give you the report or I can put on the officer judge. I want to do one or the other.
Whatever you wish.
At this stage, I will tender you this report, Judge, for your review.
Do you have a copy of this?
I provided it to him at the last hearing.
Mark it.
I'm just giving it to him. Oh, yeah, it's intro. Just a nice hat.
Okay, I have something that's 7 pages, and it looks like it is.
If I can mark that as state exhibit 1.
Officer Martinez. That's you, sir? Did you want to present Mr. Martinez?
I would. He's made the effort to come all the way down here, Judge. Let me, if I could, call him. You can come on up, Mr. Martinez.
Let's, Cable.
Yeah.
Put them on standing. Sit over
All right. So the lawyer did the stand
Raise your
up.
left hand, sir.
That was
You
just
solemnly swear?
that was just John Stevens laying down his authority. He's like, this is happening now. This is happening now. This has been going on in 2019. You ain't playing games no more. This is happening now. All right. This next clip speaks for itself. Just speaks for itself.
To that effect, but I haven't heard anything since or in a couple of months regarding that, but nothing to add beyond that, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Favre.
Judge, sir.
Just a moment, Mr. C. I will give you the opportunity to address the court, okay? Mr. Favre, you next.
Yes, Judge. So Sergeant Reynolds sent an update on January 26th stating Mr. Sehi was 67th at that time. I went and saw Mr. Sehi in the jail about 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and had a meeting with him just to kind of assess how he was doing and get an update. And I think that we're basically in the same spot that we've been in this entire time. So
That was for you guys. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the okay, so she's my personal favorite. I love the raspy Judge DeSanto at a Wyandotte. She's fantastic. And she's dealing with two neighbors that also share a child. And the one thing that stinks about this video is that we don't see the other neighbor, but he's loud and you could hear everything. So I'll just shut up and I'll just let Judge DeSanto take over. And one other thing, the video feed was getting cut off. They were having technical difficulty, so I tried to edit as best as I could, and I'll jump around for you, but you will get the meat and potatoes. So let's roll.
Thrown out on both sides. And I'm aware that Ms. Dove's daughter and Mr. Howard Randolph share a child. And I'm also aware that Miss, is it Pamela Dove? Isn't that your daughter's name? And that she had a case against Mr. Howard Randolph and she did not proceed with it. The court will also note that it's aware that Ms. Pamela or Michelle Duff and Mr. Howard Randolph do not like each other. The court will also note that at one of the hearings that Mr. Howard Randolph alleged that Michelle Duff used a racial slur, and Ms. Duff acknowledged that. And so now one of the conditions of Mr. Howard Randolph's probation is that he not have contact, let me just clarify that, he not have any assaultive, abusive, intimidating, harassing contact with Michelle Duff. And Michelle Duff has indicated that Mr. Howard Randolph has had harassing or intimidating contact with her. That's as alleged in Riverview Police Department number 20228460. So let me that piece report. you have a copy of that police report, Ms. Duff?
No.
Right here. You have a copy of that, council? Okay. So this alleges on October 16th at 15:15, so it'd be 3:15 in the afternoon at 12705 Pennsylvania, which is at a location of something, is that a particular location?
I was going to Myers. And when I turned Quarry to Pennsylvania, he was at the Circle K.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that's where that happened.
Where do you reside?
Grant Street, Riverview.
Okay. So you were taking Pennsylvania west to go to
Myers.
Myers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I turned on Pennsylvania and then I turned on Trent.
Okay.
And he followed me all the way from Circle K, all the way to Myers. And when I stopped at the stop sign, where it's just one, one car going one way, one car going, he stopped right next to my car and my grandchildren saw him stick his
Hold
head
on,
out.
no,
looking
you
in my
can't
car.
tell me what somebody else saw, please. Only tell me what you saw.
Judge, can I ask one question just for verification?
Yes.
Approximately, how far is that? I'm not familiar with the roads down here. How far is that from that Pennsylvania Avenue to that Meyer?
Well, I will indicate that,
It's about a mile.
well, hold on. I will indicate based upon judicial notice that the Circle K is on the southwest corner of Quarry and Pennsylvania. And you have about a quarter of a mile, maybe half a mile west to 4th Street. Then at the west and 4th Street the Pennsylvania and 4th Street intersection, there's also Trenton Road where by the Lowe's there where it comes on into 4th Street in Pennsylvania. So when you cross the lanes of travel on 4th Street, you can curve right to Trenton Road to get to the Myers. Is that the path of travel that you traveled, ma'am, or did you go on 4th Street?
No.
And I'm
And
assuming,
so then I believe that it probably would be another quarter mile to the entrance to the Meyer.
so all in all, maybe a mile tops.
Correct. Would you agree with that, Ms. Duff?
And all these roads are public roads?
Yes, they are. Okay. Would you agree with that distance, Mr. Howard Randolph? That it's not more than a mile? Okay. Okay, so ma'am, you're indicating that, that's considered contact?
He was close enough to my car that he could have hit it if he wanted to. That's how close he was to my truck, and he stuck his head out and he was looking at my grandson in the truck.
Which is his son?
Yeah.
No, a different
These are
grandson.
my grandchildren. So my daughter's children from somebody else.
Okay. Have they resided with Mr. Howard Randolph before?
Yeah.
Okay, so
But they
they're
reside
not,
more with me.
just, ma'am, I'm really not concerned with who they resided more with. What I'm concerned with is that they're not strangers to each other. They know each other.
Yeah.
Is that yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so when this closeness of the cars, as you're indicating, occurred, what road were you on? Were you still on Pennsylvania?
No.
You had turned into the parking lot or the road to go to Meyer?
Yes. I didn't see what it.
And so when you first noticed Mr. Howard Randolph at Circle K, was he inside the store or was he in his vehicle?
He was outside. He was not in his vehicle. He was standing. He was coming out of the store.
Okay. And so prior to noticing Mr. Howard Randolph, which direction? Were you on Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And so was the light at Pennsylvania and Quarry for westbound Pennsylvania traffic red or green? But do you remember if you stopped before you began or if it was just continuous travel?
I had stopped at the Quarry light.
Correct, that's my
Yes,
question.
it was red. I had stopped at the Quarry light.
Okay, And so at what point did you notice Mr. Randolph, Howard Randolph, I'm sorry, at the Circle K?
I did not notice him, my grandchildren did.
Okay, and so your grandchildren noticed him. And what did you do?
I just kept going, because I was going to Myers.
You didn't look in his direction?
Nope, I'm going to Myers.
You didn't look to confirm what your grandchildren said?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, when I drive, I don't.
And, okay, so then, ma'am, how is it that you know where Mr. Howard Randolph was located at Circle K?
My grandchildren told me they saw his car and they saw him outside. But I didn't think nothing of it because it's public. He's at the store. That's none of my business. I just kept driving. But when my children turned around and looked, he was following us.
Did you notice Mr. Howard Randolph behind you?
When I was getting ready to turn on Trenton.
Okay. Were there, how many cars behind was Mr. Randolph, Howard Randolph?
You maybe one, two.
Two? What kind of car does Mr. Howard Randolph drive?
I don't know. It's a red car. I don't know nothing about vehicles. I just know it's a red car. The only reason I knew it was him is when he stuck his head at the passenger side looking at my truck.
So you turned right off of Trenton Road to head, I'm sorry?
On Campbell, that's the name of the street.
To head over to Meyer.
Yes.
And Mr. Howard Randolph turned on the same street.
Yes.
And then your testimony is Mr. Howard Randolph then pulled alongside you.
Yes.
When you noticed Mr. Howard Randolph behind you, did you pull out your phone?
I told my grandson to grab my phone and take a picture.
Was there a picture taken?
There's only a picture of the back end of his car leaving in front of me.
Okay, and so Mr. Westmoreland, do you have any questions?
Yes, per the police report, Your Honor, she stated that she took a picture. Says that Complainant Duff stated that she took a picture of suspect Howard Randolph's license plate.
That's from another episode.
No, ma'am,
It
this
says
is the
16
same one.
right here. This story, Your Honor, just really isn't adding up.
Okay, do you have you can argue that
Yeah,
after the conclusion of the hearing. Do you have any other questions?
Did Mr. Howard make any sort of gestures towards you?
No.
Ma'am, please let the attorney finish the question before you answer.
Did you make any gestures towards him? You stated he gave you a look.
I'm sorry, you said you're shaking your head, but I need you to give a verbal
no.
response.
No, I did not do any gestures. I did not say anything. I just told my grandson to hurry up and take a picture because I seen him getting ready to go in front of me.
You stated he gave you a look.
Yeah,
Can you describe that look?
just a look like, you know.
No, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
You
I
need
don't
to
know
be
how to
specific.
explain it.
Man, you need to be specific. You're alleging a probation violation. And so you need to be specific.
You know, it's just a stare of like, you know, I'm gonna get you kind of stare. And was that my
What does that
grandson
mean?
more than
I'm
me?
going to get you kind of stare. What does that
Like,
mean?
and just staring in my car, my granddaughter was crying. She was in the car with us too. It was my grandson, my granddaughter, and me.
How old's your granddaughter?
9.
How old's your grandson?
14.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Westmoreland, you may continue.
Approximately, how long was he sitting next to your car?
Oh, 5 seconds. He just pulled up, looked in the truck, and then went off.
And he didn't say anything
No.
to you?
No.
I have further questions, Judge.
Okay. And so, ma'am, did you feel, I mean, what was it that was going through your mind when you saw Mr. Howard Randolph behind you?
What does he want? Why is he following me? Why? I have nothing to do with him. I'm not his mother. I'm not his aunt. I'm nobody. All I'm trying to do is take care of my grandchildren. In the whole month of October, he kept going on the corner of Kraus and Colvin. When I took my granddaughter to school, there he is. I bring my granddaughter home from school, there he is. And I don't understand why he's even anywhere near that street. Because he lives on opposite me in Jefferson. I know it's a public street and the cops told me to stop calling. Because there's nothing they can do. As long as he's not doing anything to me, there's nothing that they can do. Okay, he just told me to write down every time I saw him and write down every time he was around my area or around me. Or my grandchildren.
And what are those dates?
6th of October, 7th of October, 11th of October twice, the 16th of October, October 27th, and November 3rd was the last thing that he did, but he didn't do it to me. He called my daughter and told her that when he said something happened to your grandson on your birthday.
Hold on, man, you can't tell me anything about that because your daughter isn't here and that's not, you're correct, that is not an issue with this court as of at this point.
But I called the police about it and they had to watch him at the bus stop. He shouldn't have happened. That's why in one way it is my concern.
I'm not saying it's not your concern, but your daughter is not an individual that's a part of this case here. And so, Mr. Howard, Counselor, you have any objection to the court? Ask your client a few questions.
I'm fine with that, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Howard Randolph, you live on Sibley near Jefferson, correct?
That's correct.
On October 16th, did you see Miss Duff on the road?
Did I visually see her? Yes, I visually see her all the time, frequently. She rides past my home frequently.
Sir, I don't really want to get into back and forth right now between what goes on between you and Miss Duff. I'm talking specifically, I'm talking about specifically October 16th.
Yeah, I do remember seeing her on that date. Now,
Okay, where did you see her?
I seen her on the street by Myers as I was going to Myers because I shot at Myers. It's a free country. I can shop at where I want to shop.
Sir?
But once I noticed it was her behind me taking a picture of my license plate, I went to Kroger.
Okay, sir, let me just say this. This will go a bit more swiftly if you're listening to your attorney and you're not adding extra opinions on. Please just, please stop interrupting. Please stop interrupting me. And please stop giving your extra dissertation with your opinion after the question I'm asking you, okay? So, were you at Circle K on October 16th?
Yes.
Did you notice Miss Duff's car at the intersection while you were at, please let me finish, while you were at Circle K?
No, not while I was at Circle K. I did not.
At what point did you notice Miss Duff's vehicle?
As she was behind me with her phone.
You did not notice Miss Duff's vehicle in front of yours as she was turning into Meyer?
No. But as I passed the car to go right, I noticed it was her and I kept going.
Okay, what do you mean? You passed the car to go right?
Yeah.
To turn right into Meyer?
No, to turn right off of before you get into Meyer at the stop sign.
Okay.
Because I noticed it was her as I was passing.
Hold on. When did you pass Ms. Duff? On Trenton Road or on Cambridge?
I passed her, I guess, on Trenton turning into Cambridge, and that's how she got behind me. At some point, she got behind me.
Okay, but that's where I'm slightly confused because it's not as though it's a 4-lane road.
I'm talking about Trenton Road.
I understand that, sir.
Right. Right
And
before
so-
you get to the 1-lane road across the Lowe's,
Wait,
it's like 2 lanes right there.
okay, so what lane were you traveling?
I don't know what lane I was traveling. I know I traveled and I noticed it was her and I kept going.
What lane was Ms. Duff in?
I don't know what lane she was in. I know I was able to pass her. There was 2 lanes right there. I don't know. It may have been the right order. I don't remember what how exactly I passed from.
So,
I was
what-
22.
so sir, when you were passing her, were you on her driver's side or passenger side of the vehicle?
It was, I think, driver's side. It was the driver's side. And I seen.
So,
and I kept
I'm sorry,
going.
so you passed her on her left.
I guess, yeah, on Trenton Road, yeah. She was in the right lane.
Okay, so she was in the right lane. And so she was turning right onto Cambridge to go into Meyer.
Not before me.
So you were both traveling the same direction. Hold on, please. You were both traveling in the same direction.
I don't know what.
She
yeah,
wasn't,
we was traveling
she,
the same
please
direction.
stop interrupting me. She was in front of you. And you were then next to her.
Yeah, something like, yeah.
Okay. You were next to her on Trenton Road.
Yes, I guess so, yeah.
So if you were intending on going to Meyer, why were you traveling in the left lane as opposed to the right lane where you would have to turn right into Meyer?
I thought the vehicle that she was in was turning or she was driving too slow or whatever. So I turned, made a right to Myers, but then I seen her behind me with a camera. I left to go to the road.
So at what point did you realize the vehicle you were passing was Miss Duff?
As I was passing.
And how did you realize that?
Because I looked over and observed like I do every car that I pass. What am I supposed to take my eyeballs out and not observe my surroundings because she don't like me because I'm.
Sir?
You know, so I don't know. I can't control nobody how they feel about how I look.
Sir?
Maybe, you know.
Sir? What I'm asking is because I'm familiar with how much distance there is from 4th Street and Trenton Road and where you enter the road to go to Meyer.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were behind Miss Duff's car and then you were passing her to go to Meyer.
I wouldn't say I was behind her car. I was in the next lane.
But at some point you were behind her car.
No,
on Pennsylvania.
Well, probably by distance I was. I didn't know that was her. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying
you did. You know what I'm saying? I looked over and seen it was her.
I'm not suggesting that you knew it was her. I'm suggesting that you were behind her car. And
Not
she
directly, but
testified,
at some point, yes, behind.
she testified there were a couple cars between the two of you.
No, I don't know.
On Pennsylvania.
At one point in time, I had to be a couple cars between us because I didn't recognize her as Circle K. I didn't see the truck or her grandkids.
So your testimony to this court is every time you pass a car, you're turning left or right to see who it is that you're passing?
Looking for women? Yes. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I look at the cars around you? You're supposed to observe the cars around you and how they drive when you're in traffic.
Well, hopefully you don't have anybody in front of you slamming on a brake while you're turning one way or another, looking for the women or observing or whatever. You're saying that you do. So what did you do then when you noticed it was Ms. Duff?
I turned my head and I kept going.
And that was on Trenton Road. That you noticed that it was Ms. Duff.
Between Trenton and turning and Trenton on that little street right there. Yeah, because when I seen it was her, when I was turning, that's how she got behind me. So then, once I realized it was her.
Sir, hold
by the time
on,
I
this
get to
doesn't
the
make
stop
sense.
sign,
Please stop. Once you were turning, you noticed it was her. You would have already had to have been, please stop interrupting. You would have already had to have been in front of her before you turned.
Yeah. I passed her before I turned, I think. I did pass her before I turned.
And then you immediately turned.
No, I didn't immediately turn. I was going to Myers anyways.
I understand that. I understand what your testimony is, sir. So when you jumped in front of her, were you already past the Lowe's building?
I don't think so. Because it becomes a one lane right there. So I would have to be on the wrong side of the street to do that.
And have you had any time in the month of October that you were at an intersection near Miss Duff's home?
I'm always at intersections near Miss Duff home.
I'm sorry, let me clarify. Any residential intersections with, please let me finish. Any residential intersections within a block or two of Miss Duff's home?
Not far as me riding past the school to take that back street where the deers be at to get to Circle K and Kroger, since I've been taking years before I met her, or I mean, met her daughter. Yeah. But far as what she's probably talking about, just sitting on the street, that's what it sounds like to me or something. No, I don't even think about her. I don't.
So I'm sorry, so what way do you travel from your home on Sibley Road to Circle K?
Sometimes I take Query, sometimes I take the first street under the tracks, I take all kind of ways, whichever way I feel like it. It's a train track right there. So sometimes the trains is blocking every way, so I'm taking all kind of ways. I'm not just gonna have one route because she don't like black people. I'm not gonna do that. So,
Sir?
you know, I'm just not gonna do it.
Sir, I'm not suggesting that. I'm simply asking what your path of travel is when you go to Circle K from your home.
And I'm asking you, so you telling me I should have one route of travel because of her?
Sir, my question was, what path of travel do you take?
One specific path is what I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you again, please stop interrupting me. From your home on Sibley, when there is not a train that is blocking your travel on Sibley, on your way to Circle K, what is your path? What way do you take to get there on the most consistent basis?
To get to Circle K or Kroger
Yes.
or Meyer?
Circle K.
The street that the football field is on, where they play soccer and baseball at. Query, 4th Street, sometime where's Jefferson, depending on how I'm feeling.
Ms. Duff, where is your home? And it comes, I'll give you an opportunity to cross-examine your client. Where is your home in relation to Circle K?
It's Kraus. It's Colvin. And all the way up and then it's Corbin.
I understand that. So you're on Grant Street.
Yeah, I'm like right in the middle of that street. So
Okay.
I'm probably like.
Are you east or west of Quarry? Okay, are you closer to the train tracks or are you closer to 4th Street?
Nowhere near train tracks.
No, ma'am. You seemed confused when I asked if you were east or west of Quarry. So I was trying to say, are you on the track side of Quarry or are you on the 4th Street side of Quarry?
Track side.
Okay. In relation to the high school, are you between the high school in Pennsylvania or between the high school in Sibley?
The high school is right behind, it's like right in front of Kraus by my house.
I know where Kraus is. But on Kraus, isn't that all, oh no, that's Nixon, that's all businesses. Kraus is where the football field sits, correct?
Where everybody plays baseball.
I understand that, okay.
Football
So
is further back.
Okay, so you're between, what is that road that the high school is on? Not Quarry, but that other road. It's, where the school buses are on,
It's Kraus.
no.
Oh, you mean?
Cross
the other
goes
way,
north and
this
south.
way here?
The street, Longsdorf,
Yeah.
Longsdorf. So are you between Longsdorf and Pennsylvania?
No.
You're between Longsdorf and Sibley.
Colvin.
I understand that. Colvin's in between there.
Like I'm right there.
So Grant Street is between the high school and Colvin.
Take your hand. Right where DTE's got that big field.
Stay with this case, guys. I know it's getting a little monotonous, but it explodes at the end. It completely explodes at the end.
right there. And then there's a small dirt road behind me that's called McKinley.
Oh, hold on a minute, ma'am. So are you closer to Pennsylvania or Sibley?
They're about the same. Because I gotta go on Colvin, go up, and then Sibley's like up further on the other way.
Okay, let me see something here. Because I didn't realize that, I don't recall there being homes on Colvin Street. Howard Randolph, is he just parked or is he driving? And are you on the corner or in the middle of the block?
And then you're talking about my street.
Your house?
My house is right in the middle.
Okay. And it appears as though you're closer, you're farther away from the corner. What I want you to do is to please answer my question. So on Kraus.
You don't like the answer.
On Kraus, sir, do not tell me what I do not like.
Here we go.
It's not a matter of liking or not liking an answer. I'm trying to get clarification to resolve the issue that's going on here. Because quite frankly, it's beyond where it needs to be. So here's my question to you. You indicated that you take many different courses of travel to get to Circle K.
That's not the only place that I go around.
Sir, I understand that. I understand that that's not your only destination. I'm just talking about specifically Circle K because that's the location that's closest to what we're talking about right now that you frequent. I'm not saying you can't frequent that. I'm just simply trying to ascertain what in the world is going on.
She's racist. That's what's going on. And I don't ride down her street.
Sir, I didn't say you drive down her street.
You just asked that. Was I sitting parked on her street or is
Sir?
there a reason to ride past her street?
Sir, did I ask you, have you driven down Grant Street? No, I have not. Kraus runs into Colvin, which is Kraus dead ends into Colvin Street. Would you agree with that?
I can't agree with that because I don't know all the streets. I'm from the east side of Detroit. I don't know these streets by heart.
Sir, sir, the street that the baseball fields are on, when we cross over Longsdorf, right? You have the softball field in the southwest corner, baseball field, northwest corner.
I ride down there all the time.
You continue going north on Kraus Street past the baseball field. It ends at Colvin. Are you aware of that?
Colvin is where the deers be at, right?
Yes, it seems to me that's where the field is with the fenced in detail.
It's the street closest to my house to eliminate me from having to go all the way to 4th Street to go to Circle K. You talking about that street? Yes, I do frequent that street a lot.
Maybe electric. I don't see why you'd be frequenting Colvin Street. That goes east and west.
I don't know what street code it is for one. I just know that street right there with the school sitting on. I've been riding on that street before I met my daughter.
So, sir, here's what I would suggest. That little neighborhood that Miss Duff resides on Grant Street. There doesn't appear to be a specific reason that you need to be over there.
You
Okay.
telling me I cannot drive anywhere around like her house, like a perimeter? Cause I know females over there that I do.
Did I say that?
Well, it sounds like that's what you did it.
Did I say those words?
Go ahead.
Did I say those words?
Go ahead.
Did I say those words?
Is my amendment rights being?
Sir, did I say you're not allowed to drive over there? Did those words come out of my mouth?
Not yet.
No, they did not. So stop making assumptions and stop putting words in my mouth. Ms. Duff, you and Mr. Howard Randolph reside in the same town, which is not a very large town.
I know.
You are going to pass each other on the street. There's not a straight no contact order. There's not any harassing, intimidating, assaultive, or what's the other? Threatening behavior or contact. That is what it is. So tell me, what about October 16th was assaultive?
He almost hit my car. He got that close. He got close enough that he could get on the path, looking through the passenger side, looking at my grandson. And he was close to my car, close enough.
Who's passing? Was he on your left or your right? Your left. Okay. Well, you can't tell me what he saw from inside his car, because that would be speculation. Tell me what about that day was abusive contact.
In my car.
Tell me what about that day was intimidating contact.
It's just him constantly being around.
You live in the same town, ma'am.
I understand. I see him at the store. I get it. I don't say nothing about that. I just talk about when he's always there.
You're saying always there. What does that mean?
Every time I came home, take my granddaughter to school, there he is, right on the corner of Cove and driving. Every time I come home, taking my granddaughter home, there he is, right there on Cove and.
So, ma'am, do you expect for Mr. Howard Randolph to receive a schedule from you as to where you're going to be at what time?
I understand that. I'll see him on and off. I get it.
Okay.
But when I'm constantly seeing him, that's like I know what he's doing. And he's looking for my daughter. I know what he's doing. My daughter is not at my house.
Okay.
I'm in contact.
Hold on. You're making assumptions at this point as to what it is he's doing. That's your belief.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why he was looking in my car.
That is what you are assuming. That's what you are assuming. The two of you seem to shop at the same stores.
Which I don't mind. I don't care. It's a store.
I understand that. So tell me how I can find Mr. Howard Randolph guilty of a probation violation when you are both on your way to Meyer.
I don't want to find him. I just want him to leave me alone. Just stay away from me. Just leave me alone. Leave me and my grandchildren alone. That's it. Just leave me alone. I don't want to see you 24/7, always on the side corner of my street. Why are you even there when the gate's simply?
Yeah.
So to me, that's intimidating because you just keep showing up.
You're sitting, okay, but he isn't just sitting there. You testified he's not just sitting there. And you're on the opposite end of the block. Your home is on the opposite end of the block of Kraus. You're closer to McKinley than you are Kraus.
Right. But okay. I don't take McKinley because it's a dirt road. It's always full of potholes. So that's why I'm always on Kraus.
Okay. So Mr. Howard Randolph is also on Kraus when he travels. So he chooses to take Kraus when he's driving. You're choosing to take Kraus when you're driving.
I understand. I'm not here to try to get him in trouble. I just want him to leave me alone. Just want to be left alone. Just like when you wrote about the school 4 times, the school got contacted because he stood on my daughter, my granddaughter, but he's seen them. There's a lot of things that I didn't complain about because cops are being,
Mr. Howard Randolph, here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. You are on probation in this court because of behavior that occurred, which I understand, I think, if I recall correctly, was initiated by frustration regarding your child that you have with Pamela. You don't have any children that attend any of the schools in Riverview, do you?
No.
Okay. You don't have any family or friends that live in the air over there in that area between Electric and Kraus, north of Longsdorf, do you? Electric is the road that runs along north and south along the train tracks. You know that, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Kraus or Electric?
Electric.
You gotta give me a landmark.
I just did, Electric, the train tracks.
When the train tracks run far.
What's that?
The train tracks run all through there, so what part, like, I'm not familiar with the street names out here, I'll just go back off.
Okay, when you're coming off of Pennsylvania, when you're going south, coming right by the train tracks, you're going south, okay, you're west of the train tracks, you're going south on Electric. What's that?
Past quarters.
No, sir. No. Electric is between the train tracks and Kraus. Kraus runs along the football field.
So Electric is a side street.
Electric runs the same direction as Kraus does. And it goes from Longsdorf over to Pennsylvania.
Right.
Okay, so you have the Deer, so there's the Deer and the electrical utility stuff is on the left there at Pennsylvania and Electric. You know what I'm talking about now? Is that yes?
Yes, I do know what you're talking about right there.
Okay, so then you have Longsdorf, which is the street that runs alongside the high school. Okay, so you have the softball field on the south side of Longsdorf. Then you have the baseball field and Lloyd Car Park on the north side of Longsdorf. Okay, so Kraus is the street that runs alongside the baseball field and the Lloyd Car Park. Got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then that street, Kraus, where you can't go straight anymore, is that road is Colvin. You can only turn right or left.
At the Deer.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, so within those parameters that I just asked you about, Electric, Longsdorf, Kraus, and Colvin, do you have any family or friends that live in that area?
No family, no.
Okay. Do you have any friends that live in that area? What street?
I don't know the streets again. I don't know about streets by name.
Well, sir, there aren't that many of them over there.
Well, I know a lot.
You got Garfield, Grant, Colvin, and McKinley. You got 4.
Well, I don't know everybody's street names. I got people in Trenton. I know people all over.
Stop. Do you have anybody that lives on Grant Street where Miss Duff lives?
Grant Street?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
not.
Anybody that lives, what about any of your friends that live on Colvin?
I had somebody stay right behind her house. They used to work at Circle K. What is?
Okay, well, while you're on probation.
Don't have friends around her house.
While you're on probation, you cannot go to the friend's house from Circle K right behind her house.
Huh? Are you serious?
Yeah. Sir. Sir, you're on.
I'm just saying, this is crazy.
Sir.
I can't remember if she see me.
Sir, listen to this court, okay? You're only on probation, as long as there aren't any violations, you're only on probation for a few more months.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm not gonna not see my people that I deal with
Sir, I didn't say you can't see them, I said just don't go to the house.
That's not her house, so they don't have a restraining order or no contact order on me. That's violating my amendment rights.
Who
telling
doesn't?
me I can't go see somebody I know because they stay by her.
excuse me,
a racist person that's known racist, a known racist.
sir, you said that lives right behind her. Their backyards touch?
I don't know if they backyards touch, but I know my friend with the white rendezvous, I don't, that's not how I know these people and people that I know is not any concern of this matter. Me not contacting her is the concern of this matter, but me not being her, you trying to accommodate her eyeballs because she don't want to see my blackness. I can't help that.
No.
I can't help that, and I'm not gonna help that. I'm not bothering her. She's bothering me. She harasses me. I showed y'all pictures and y'all did nothing in the middle of court proceedings.
Sir.
She don't want to see his blackness.
I am not indicating what her eyeballs want to see or not want to see, okay? What I am indicating is that you're on probation with this court and you are not to have any harassing, intimidating, assaultive, or threatening contact with Ms. Duff.
So her seeing me is assault.
Sir, did I say that?
You kind of did. That's what you're saying.
Did I say that? I did not say that. I merely am indicating what the restrictions are.
She is the restriction.
I didn't indicate that I said that that is what occurred. I did not indicate that at all. What I am indicating is that where she's residing, where she lives, she's brought to the court's attention that you seem to be in that area
a lot
more often than probably necessary.
I live in that area.
No, you don't.
I do live in that area.
Sir,
this is 4 blocks away doesn't mean I don't live in that area.
Nope, sir, you are 1 mile at minimum. You're a mile south.
Thinking about her.
Excuse me. Please stop interrupting me. You are 1 mile south and at least half a mile east of Ms. Duff's home. There is absolutely zero reason for you to be over that way. So what I am saying to you, sir, is today the court finds that
That's when it cut off, guys, and I'm going to get it up and running for us again. Okay.
Krause's Colvin could be.
Sorry about that, guys. That was the
That could become an issue. That's all that I'm saying, sir. I'm not saying it is.
Him even just driving by her house, as long as he's not doing anything.
I've never even wrong with that.
Stop interrupting.
She can say anything she wants.
No.
Y'all just take it and run with it. When I make police reports.
You know what, sir? Stop. Stop right there. I've already found you not guilty of your probation violation. So don't tell this court that whatever Ms. Duff says is taking what she says. So you need to stop and listen, not just hurry up and respond with what you want to respond with. That is what I'm saying. You clearly, the two of you do not like each other at all. That is perfectly fine. What's not perfectly fine, again, you're interrupting. What's not fine is bordering on violating conditions of probation So what I'm indicating to you, sir, is to avoid situations with Ms. Duff in the future, choose your path of travel wisely and appropriately. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying where you can't go. I'm just saying choose your path of travel wisely. That is what I'm saying.
I'm sure we'll be back here. I know that because I see her all the time. There's no way I could avoid seeing her.
I understand that.
I mean,
and sir,
Judge, I'll explain it to him. I'll explain it to him.
So basically, okay, when my friend called me, which is really no one's business in here, he said, "Hey, can we shoot it?" No, I can't because my son mother stay right behind me, so I can't come see you. I mean, what?
Sir,
I don't get it. She don't like my face.
Sir, you're not getting it because you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm indicating to you. I have found you not guilty of your probation violation. There was not enough evidence to support that any of that behavior was intimidating, assaulting, harassing, or threatening. Okay?
Right, I understand.
That's what I'm indicating. Now, if Miss Duff lived on Quarry Road, we probably wouldn't be having as much of a conversation about your path of travel as we are, but she doesn't. She lives in a residential area that's a bit more secluded. That is what I'm indicating.
And I'm indicating that I take different ways, numerous ways, again, because of the
Correct.
harassing police out here. I don't like to, I've been harassed ever since I've been with
Sir,
her daughter.
Because you take numerous paths of travel, right? Find other ways other than going closer to her house. That's all that I'm suggesting.
I don't go close to her house. That's the point. She's lying.
Sir,
Yes,
she's not. You've already
acknowledged
acknowledged that you've been in the area, that you travel across in Colvin.
Yeah, but that don't mean I'm traveling where she's saying I'm traveling. Yes, I'm in the, when I consider her area and you consider her area as two different things. Riverview ain't that big. Come on now. You telling me that basically saying go one way.
No.
When I leave my house. It's just that's my way to go. So simply the 4th Street. So let me go out my way and burn my gas because she don't like black people. And that's crazy to me.
At any point did I say you only travel on Sibley Road, sir?
Not directly, but
Okay.
you're saying it basically.
You're making assumptions.
Saying this.
No. You're making assumptions.
You saying don't go there 4 times a day because we don't want her seeing you 4 times a day.
That is
Go
not what
there
I
2
said.
times a day.
Nope, sir, that is not what I said. That is absolutely not what I said. What I indicated is I told you, we went through and I said those 4 roads, right? Those 4 roads are what this court would consider her immediate area to where she lives. So what I'm indicating is choose your path of travel wisely. There is not a reason that you would need to be in her vicinity often of where she lives. I'm not saying her vicinity when she's out on the road. That's not what this court is saying.
But that's what she sees me in. I can remember she's standing on her porch and she's looking down at the field and she sees my car go up to the pass by the deers. How is that intimidating her?
This court didn't say that was the way that would happen.
But that's what she's talking about.
No.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. That was the video feed that got cut off. That wasn't me. All right. So we're gonna go to the last one, and it's Judge Simpson, and he had enough. It was pretty much a lot of these judges had enough today. They weren't in a good mood when I was browsing today. We're not in a good mood today. Judge Simpson takes care of somebody that just won't take a UA.
Mr. Stallings, did you have a chance to review that?
Okay, so where we are, we're at Mr. Stallings, okay, right here, all right? And that's the probation agent, Miss Teresa. She's pretty much the stoolie for the probation violators. I mean, you don't do what you got to do, you're going to get it revoked and you're going to get sanctioned. Pretty much, that's what's going to happen.
And are you do you understand the recommendation and do you have any corrections to make?
If you listen for a second, she was going to say, are you under the influence? She was going to say, it was a Freudian slip. She was going to say, are you under the influence? Play that back if you want to play. If you don't believe me, play it back.
I understand the recommendation and I have no corrections.
Okay. And this.
Well, his recommendation is that he didn't. Okay.
There's also a bond violation report I received yesterday afternoon regarding community corrections and missed
Yeah,
testing.
why hasn't he been testing?
Your Honor, currently I'm experiencing significant financial hardship. I'm between jobs. crashing between friends' houses. I'll get the money up to take a urine sample as soon as I can. I am in wardship with 14B as well, and they have a significant class that has a lot of fees associated with it that I'm trying to stay in line with.
Teresa Player on behalf of probation. Your Honor, probation has some concerns about Mr. Stallings and possible drug use. I know when he was supposed to have his PSI appointment, I did go over with him about his non-compliance with testing at community corrections. He did not have the packet completed for that appointment, but I did discuss with him that he needed to get back into community corrections and start testing as he was supposed to. At that time, Mr. Stallings told me that he was not testing because he was trying to detox off of medications, and it was working pretty well, that he was doing that with chocolate sticks from Trader Joe's.
Well, I don't know if that chocolate sticks was the only I guess alternative. It was definitely one of the distractions I used. But I did have this conversation with her. And yes, I do have a history of drug use.
Mr. Stallings, when was the last time you used?
The last time I used marijuana or
anything that you're not supposed to be taking?
Probably 4 days ago, marijuana.
What the hell are you talking about?
No, just marijuana.
I don't
in the past
believe
4
you.
days.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe you. All right. Well, if you don't want to come in for testing, don't want to do that.
I'll be happy
to get yourself to Trader Joe's for chocolate sticks or whatever. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm referring to defendant, re-referring to defendant to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. I'll adjourn the defendant sentencing to March 1st, 2023, 9 a.m. The defendant is remanded to the custody of the Washington County Jail pending sentencing. You are to report to the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. If you decide you can't get a ride out here, we'll come get you. And I don't think you'll like that very much. If you don't report by 6 p.m., I'm issuing a bench warrant and you'll be held without bond pending sentencing. Thank you.
Understood. Thank you.
He was so high, he didn't even give a shit. He's got to go. You don't even give a shit. He's got to go.